Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Sunday the 26th of September 2021. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to use the Star Spinner Tarot for today's reading. This is a really interesting deck. It's not very well known, I don't think, because I actually found this on Instagram. So I doubt that this is a deck that you can just get in shops everywhere. So it's kind of a rare find. Let's see what the cards have to say about Sunday and what energy you're going to work with on this day. So I'm just going to show you a few of the cards. It's really different and interesting. I really like the way they've done this. And I like bright colors and I like simplicity in my tarot cards, because if it's overly complicated, I find that the message can become a little bit garbled. So I really appreciate this deck. Let's see what they've got to say, these cards, about Sunday the 26th and what's likely to come up. I'm just going to shuffle them and then choose 3 cards to see what is going on. Let's have a look. Okay, so the first card is the 5 of Coins, which is the 5 of Pentacles. Then we've got the 4 of Cups, the 4 of Chalices, and finally, the Devil. Wow. Okay, so over the last few days, this has been a theme. Someone in the comments mentioned yesterday as well. 2 days ago, we had the Devil card. And the Devil card is very much about not taking your circumstances too seriously and giving yourself permission to kind of look at the bigger picture and to choose again, because you're not stuck. You're not trapped and bound. And then yesterday we had the Tower, which often represents circumstances which you've come to rely on, which have been there for a long time and which really support you and give you a sense of security. Those become disrupted and it can create a little bit of chaos in your life. And then we've got the Devil card again. So for the last 3 days here, we've got this theme that it's really important not to take things so seriously as such, or specifically not to feel like you have zero choice. You always have a choice. Your circumstances do not define you. And if you look at things in your own way and you deliberately take power back and say, hey, I can focus on whatever I like, and I'm not a slave to the machine here. I'm not a cog in a wheel. I can do things differently for myself. Then that's really going to benefit you. And that theme kind of continues. So here we've got 2 other cards which are very interesting. The 4 of Cups is about perspective, and it's about having this tendency to be glum and to be disappointed with something, missing the fact that you've got this big castle up on the hill and that really you've got a lot of stuff to be grateful for. And the 5 of Coins can often represent rejection and tough times. So it's a challenging energy here, and it really will benefit you to look at your perspective on things and not to let yourself become downtrodden or to feel like the process is grinding you down. If there are a lot of things going on that are challenging, in my experience, because I mentioned this in a reading I did with someone yesterday, I do talk about planet duality quite a lot. And on this planet, if something does seem to be negative, you can be certain that there's something inherently good in those circumstances. So the cliche, every cloud has a silver lining, really applies today. And let's see what the overall message is. So the 5 of Pentacles represents tough times and illness and rejection and really having to kind of struggle through what is going on. But the good thing about it is that you're not alone. Usually it's 2 people out in the snow and they kind of support each other. And the stained glass window contains the 5 Pentacles, and it's kind of a rejection by institutions, and it's having to do it by yourself and finding your own way. But that doesn't feel great, right? If you're going to be, the club kicks you out, or some sort of corporation says, no, thank you, we no longer require your services, or a group of people who say, you don't fit in with, you can't sit with us, you know, like the Mean Girls thing, then of course that doesn't feel nice and you're like, oh, okay, I've been rejected. But on the plus side, you get to design your own way forward, and you get to decide what you value and what you don't value, and you can find people then who actually share your ideas and beliefs, and you can surround yourself with people who are actually a good fit rather than faking it. It's like going on holiday on your own. If you go on holiday by yourself, you're pretty much guaranteed to meet other people and to connect with people you wouldn't connect with if you were there with a group of people, because you'd be busy and occupied, and you wouldn't be prompted to speak to strangers as such. So here we've got the Queen and we've got a little boy, and they're both kind of sad, but she's shielding him. So you can kind of protect your inner child, and you can really be your own best friend. And that also has been a theme this week. You can support yourself through the process. Then we've got a mirror, and that's been shattered or it's been damaged. And it may look like the perspective or what you're trying to reflect and see is cracked, and you don't have the big picture, and you feel like, wow, this needs to be fixed, or something in your life no longer functions effectively, and it affects either the way you see yourself or the way you see the world. If this is like a looking glass where you can look out into the kingdom, because she looks like a magical queen, she's going to have the glass replaced. So it's an inconvenience, it's maybe an added expense, it's a pain in the neck that you don't really want to be dealing with. But again, it's not the end of the world, and it's something that you can deal with. If something does come up that doesn't please you, then don't bury your head in the sand and say, I'll ignore this, it'll go away, because the mirror is going to stay cracked. Then we've got these other 4 pentacles. The little kid is holding one of them, and it may feel like the things that are expected of you right now are a bit much, and you feel ill-equipped to deal with those things. The reality is you can protect yourself and use your experience and your practical know-how to deal with whatever is going on, and it's not going to damage you as such. You don't need to feel like you're vulnerable or overly susceptible to negative influences. The thing about the 5 of Pentacles, if anything, it's a confirmation that you can do it, and that help is always available to you, whether that's from other people or your higher self or from family members. There's always something that's going to support you through this, and the point is not to despair. With the 4 of Cups being next, you can see this melancholy little mermaid sitting on a rock and just pondering and looking at the reflection of the water. And it's at night, so things may seem worse than they actually are. But like I said, the 4 of Cups is a card that always reminds us to look for the good things in life and not to simply focus on the negative. So there is something here that may make you feel like, wow, this was a disappointment, or this has been a big rejection or a big waste of my time, and I'm really just not particularly happy about that. So I'm going to sit here and lament the sorry nature of my reality, and I'm just going to sit back and mope. But with this, the reaction can be there. Ultimately, you're able to change your perspective around and to change the focus and to say, I can deal with whatever's going on. This may not be the best day in my entire life, but I'm going to choose to focus on the positive. And then finally, we've got the Devil. And the Devil card, we've got this sinister angel here flying around and taking pleasure in the misfortune of the souls he's kind of trapped. So it is kind of a dark energy. And you don't have to, this person or this entity really has no power over you, because these chains and these this kind of web that these people are stuck in, the card is saying that you have a choice in that, whether you decide to get stuck or not, because the perspective is the thing that's going to free you, and also self-belief. So the 5 of Coins you can get through difficult times. You can alter your perspective. You don't have to sit there and be glum. So those are the 2 most useful things you can use today as kind of those cutting things. You know, the thing, what are they called? The wire cutters, or the things you use to cut through a fence or something like that. And if you believe in yourself, you're not going to feel powerless and as a victim of your circumstances. And if you determine and you commit to looking at the positives rather than the negatives, the chains kind of go poof and you're free and you can choose whatever it is you want. So with this, with the smug smile on his face, it may even inspire you to look at your circumstances and say, do you know what? I'm not going to buy into all of this. I'm not going to give you the pleasure of seeing me struggle and squirm. I'm going to go my own way. I'm going to redesign I'm going to get a new mirror. I'm going to jump in the water and play instead of sitting on the rock and be unhappy. I am going to choose what I make this day. I'm going to manifest good things in my life. And there you go. I am putting up 2 fingers to this smug kind of misanthropic kind of attitude. And I'm not going to let, what is that? I'm not going to let the bastards grind me down. So it's almost like anything negative inspires you to fight back and to say, I'm not going to accept this. So it's interesting because I think I mentioned this yesterday, that acceptance is the key. Today, acceptance is not the key. Self-belief and perspective is the key, and you don't need to accept and believe your circumstances. You can redesign them, and then you can take all these chains and make a fabulous skirt out of them. I don't know. You can take things that fundamentally would be a pain, and you're able to redesign them and look at them differently to see where the value is. And I'm sorry to take this chain metaphor even further, but if you take these and you free yourself from them, chains can be very useful in helping you move things or in securing things, tying things up, doing construction work, building your own future. To get all these rocks on top of one another, you're going to need building equipment. And you can take things which don't work for you, repurpose them, and make them work for you wonderfully well. The one thing I'm being prompted to say as well is if someone comes into your life and you feel like, wow, they're taking real pleasure in my struggle here and they're enjoying me not being happy, you may get a little bit angry, and you may, because anger often feels more comfortable than depression or rejection. And if you feel like someone doesn't have your best interests at heart, you may feel like, wow, this is a fabulous target for me to attack now. And you may launch into an attack or do things which you would regret otherwise. And you may also demonize people. And if someone is just being, inconsiderate or thoughtless or whatever, it doesn't mean they're deliberately being malicious. So if you do find yourself turning someone in your life into a villain, then just hold back on that. It may not be deliberate. They may not even be thinking about it the way it comes across. So give people the benefit of the doubt. Exercise this discipline when it comes to your own feelings, and really find a great opportunity within all this and find your own strength. Yeah. So this is like going to the spiritual gym a little bit and building these resilience muscles. And once you build those, they're going to come in handy every day of your life, because you and me, we both know that life isn't always easy and spiritual and feathers and all the good stuff, and it doesn't need to be. I'm not going to say it makes it more interesting, because we'd all just like to be having a wonderful experience all the time. But just because things aren't perfect doesn't mean you can't enjoy yourself. Yeah. And also the devil here is kind of like, he's kind of attractive. So see the good thing in things that are unwelcome or unexpected. So, if your car breaks down and you're like, oh, what a pain, that is so annoying. And then this gorgeous guy comes from the AAA to help you change your tire, and you get into a wonderful conversation and there's a real chemistry and connection there. That initial bit of bad luck may turn into really good luck. So don't be too quick to get angry and to attack everything that you think is bad. There may be something hidden. There may be that silver lining in this cloud that comes into your life. Okay, and I'm not done yet, apparently. We've got this moon that always makes everything look more sinister. And we've got this mirror, which skews your perception. And here we've got this red root chakra halo around the devil. So things don't appear as what they truly are. And if you take action on faulty information, you usually take faulty action. So I think holding back as much as you can today and focusing on yourself and being nice to yourself and nurturing your inner child, that is the best way to navigate what is going on in your life today. 15 and 4 is 19, and 5 is 24, 2 and 4 is 6, and that's a temporary opportunity to discover something new for yourself, regardless of the problematic energy that's popping up in your life. Just because you see it, just because you're engaging with it, doesn't make it real. What is real is the spiritual truth of who you are, and no one can take that away from you ever, and it doesn't harm you or damage you in any way. You're always fully protected, and you're fully protected on this day specifically. So have a really good day. Let us know what discoveries you make about your life and what new opportunities appear. Yeah, and the number 6 is a, hang on, yeah, so 5 and 4 is 11 and 15. Oh, okay, sorry, I just need to redo that. Have I done this? 15 and 5 is 20 and 4 is 24, and that's 6, yeah. So 6 is an opportunity, and the fact that the numbers add up to 6 is that the main focus of the day shouldn't be the problems and the challenges. The main focus and what you need to look at is the opportunities that hide out in whatever is going on. So it's about uncovering hidden opportunities. There we go. All right. So have a wonderful day. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on book your reading to audio reading with me. I use the tarot, numerology, astrology, and my intuition in my personal reading. So if you have any questions about your life purpose or change of career or location or perspective or relationships, if you can trust someone or not, if you're on the right track, or if you feel like you need to make a change, or if you have anything else that you want to look at, personality profiles, the astrology chart is super useful in showing you your personality and how you can maximize the good stuff that already exists and how you can work on the negatives to minimize those. So if you do want to speak to me, get in touch via the website gregoryscott.com. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and share the video online. Have a wonderful day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.